Okay, man, what a production this has been, everybody. I apologize for the delay, and I also am going to apologize because the presentation that I prepared to present today, we're not able to access. So, for the time being, we're going to roll with the content, and I will come back and I'll share the presentation as I always do. Of course, it's not going to be as funny when you're going through it by yourself without me. That's totally a joke. But this is for the parent that has ever looked at their kiddo and thought, like, something just feels off, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's the way your kiddo walks, or their awkward posture, how they sit still, or maybe can't sit still, or how their emotions go from 0 to 400, like that, which relates to meltdowns and tantrums and nobody being happy. What if I told you, though, that these quirks are actually your child's nervous system just waving a big, bright red flag? I'm Dr. Marq. I'm a pediatric, prenatal, and family chiropractor here at Healing Touch Chiropractic. Every day, we get to help families uncover and decode the hidden stress signals in their kids' bodies so that they can grow and thrive and function at their God-given best, okay? As I said, we've got 3 docs here in the office. Between us, we've got over 35 years of experience taking care of thousands of families, thousands of people. I've done deep dives myself into and hold certifications in all things kid and family health and wellness. I'm also a mom of 2. So today we're deep diving into a sect of pediatric chiropractic care, but not the kind that you might expect. So I can't tell you how many times I have heard when someone finds out that I'm a children's chiropractor and they say, "Oh, thank goodness, my kids have never had any issues, so we've never had any reason to need you." So the truth of that statement, or I should say the mistruth in that statement, most kids don't need chiropractic for pain. They need a chiropractor because their nervous system is under pressure and they don't even know it. Okay? This isn't about back pain or popping or cracking. This is about understanding your kiddo and their nervous system and how that neural tissue, it talks to the body, and how subtle signs can give us huge clues into how your child is then developing and growing and hopefully thriving. So we're going to cover things like primitive reflexes and muscle tone and range of motion and side of dominance and how chiropractic care supports all of it. Because when the nervous system is under distress or disorganized or chaotic, it's going to show up in real life challenges. So sleep issues, motor delays, poor coordination, behavioral concerns. I mean, there are a lot of pieces here. So when we talk about primitive reflexes, they're really, as we're going along, if they are active, they're really like the glitchy apps of the nervous system. So primitive reflexes, what they are is they're the automatic survival responses babies are born with. We all are familiar with like the startle reflex kiddos have. That's called the moral reflex. The rooting reflex that helps them find mama's breast. The tonic neck reflex. Those are totally normal in infancy, but they're supposed to integrate, aka fade away, as the brain matures, as baby gets bigger. So when they don't, they're like apps that keep running in the background. They drain your child's battery, they glitch their performance, they make it difficult to reach that next milestone smoothly and easily. Stats say up to 70% of children with sensory, attention, or learning difficulties actually have retained primitive reflexes. That's a massive red flag and something we are always looking for as pediatric chiropractors. So these unintegrated reflexes can cause posture problems. They can cause issues with balance, trouble focusing. We've got emotions that are all over the place, behaviors that mimic sensory or ADHD type scenarios. So this is where chiropractic comes in. Dental adjustments are actually going to stimulate the brainstem. They're going to work with the brainstem, with the cerebellum, with the prefrontal cortex, areas that play key roles in regulating and inhibiting those reflexes. Okay, so we help shift the body from a state of fight or flight distress into rest, digest, and develop. So I really wish I had my presentation for this part, because I actually have some at-home tests that I wanted parents to be able to do, and you still will be able to do them, as I said. So one of the permanent reflexes is called the ATNR, is the asymmetric tonic neck reflex. So if your kiddo is weight bearing, you're actually going to have them get on their hands and knees. I often have kiddos pretend like they're a dog or a cat. You then are going to passively turn their head from side to side. If this reflex is still active, they might involuntarily, let's see if you can see me, they might bend an arm. Those arms might cave completely. That likely means that reflex is still hanging around and it's going to interfere with their coordination. So this is clearly for those bigger kids, those weight-bearing kids, 18 months to 5 years, who can all get on all fours. For those younger kids, you actually have them lie on their back, we call it supine, and again, you're going to turn their head, and that reflex is still considered active and present when you turn their head to the side and that arm and that same leg extend out and the opposite side actually tucks in nice and tight, okay? That reflex, it should be integrated in an ideal scenario. It should be disappeared by 6 months of age, okay? The next piece that I want to touch on is muscle tone and range of motion. So this is where tension is really going to tell the truth, okay? So tone, muscle tone, as we are speaking, isn't necessarily about strength. So it's about how the brain holds muscles in a state of tension, in a state of readiness. So low tone equals floppy, tired, disengaged. High tone, meaning we're relating it to tight and stiff and reactive. So if you've ever described, or if you describe your newborn as having a strong neck, or if your kiddo's grown and you remember them having a stiff neck, that's actually not a positive. It is a sign of hypertonia, what we call overactive muscles, and it tells us that that nervous system is too overactive, okay? Then there's facial asymmetry, head tilt, limited neck motion. Maybe your baby only looks one way, or if they're nursing, maybe they only favor one breast. Maybe your kiddo has a crooked smile, their eyes track uneven, their jaw hooks to one side when they cry or coo or laugh or scream. So these aren't random, these are actually neurological signals. Chiropractic adjustments, especially in the upper neck and in the cranial system, is going to relieve tension on the nerves that coordinate those functions. So I shared, it will be in a presentation, a picture during our last workshop. It's of our oldest, our son Hank, a couple weeks old. You can clearly see the asymmetries in his face. The easiest way to look objectively at your kiddo's features is to do it upside down. So take a picture of your kid and then look at it upside down, and you will be surprised at how much pops out. We're looking at like height of eyebrows. We're looking at level of eyes, level of ears. You're looking at the creases here coming from the mouth, the side of the nose. You're looking at how wide their mouth opens when they cry, laugh, scream. You're looking at if their smile is lopsided. You're looking at the jaw. It will stick out to you, parents. It will stick out to you because chiropractic is not just loosening a tight muscle. We are helping the brain reestablish clear communication with the body, and this is going to support better feeding. It's going to improve eye contact. It's going to further support speech development, social bonding, facial symmetry, and harmony. So an at-home range of motion, I just want you to actually go through and see. If it's a baby, have them lay on their back and watch how easily they turn their head side to side. Do they favor one? Can they rotate both ways equally? In your bigger kids, you can ask, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you, touch your chest? Can you look up at the ceiling? And you basically want to see if there is an avoidance or a preference for one side. Because if there is, more than likely there is tension in the neck or an upper cervical imbalance, which is something chiropractic care, well, one of a million things chiropractic care is really good at addressing. I like to talk about dominance and laterality when we're looking at kids. So everybody knows they have a dominant hand side, right? But when we are doing anything with our bodies, choosing a side means organizing the brain, truly. So choosing a dominant side, that means establishing a preferred hand. I had a really funny meme for all you 90s kids that grew up watching Scary Movie. So it's not just hand, it's also dominant eye, dominant ear, dominant foot, dominant cerebellum. And mixed dominance, when we have preferences that go both ways, it can actually show up as trouble crossing the midline. It can show up as awkward, uncoordinated movements. It can show up as delays in reading and writing and coordination and social engagement. So this goes beyond just having a kid that's a little quirky, right? Like, these are things that will further impact beyond childhood. So bottom line, if the brain can't decide who the captain is, left or right, everything feels disorganized. This is truer the older a child gets. Side of dominance should be pretty firm and established between the ages of 5 and 7. That doesn't mean it's not important in those kids younger than 5. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's less likely to shift between those ages of 5 and 7, okay? So bigger picture, grand scale, this matters because kids with unclear dominance often struggle to process not just coordination, but also language efficiently and to regulate their emotions. So a test that I wanted to share with you is to have your kiddos sit, and then I want them to touch their right hand to their right knee, right hand to left knee, left hand to right knee. And then you just watch if they can twist their whole body instead of reaching across. If they have difficulty crossing that midline, it likely means there's difficulty coordinating the left and right brain communication. Chiropractic helps by enhancing proprioception. Proprioception is like your brain's GPS. Where and what is your body doing? So when we restore motion in the spine, the brain gets more accurate input and can better organize its output, meaning the brain gets a better idea of what's going on inside the body and outside it, and then is better able to, what are those people called, to like direct planes, you know? I don't know, it's better able to do that, okay? And then we get to see a kiddo who's well adjusted become more physically confident, more emotionally regulated and confident, more mentally focused and confident. Like, man, isn't that what we all want for our kids? I know that's what I do. So really what chiropractic does for our kids, it helps their nervous system integrate. We're taking pressure off of communication pathways and we're turning down the background noise. We're rebooting the software so that the hardware, aka their body, can actually run smoothly. Primitive reflexes, tone, range of motion, coordination, laterality. These are all clues. They are not conditions, not things to be managed or treated per se. Chiropractic care is the key to helping your child adapt and grow and thrive. So it's not about chasing symptoms, as we just went over. It's about creating calm, connected, and confident kids from the inside out. So if you're fretting, thinking like, ooh, I'm gonna do these with my kiddos and they flunked all 3 at-home tests, or if you're feeling overwhelmed doing them and thinking like, oh, my pediatrician has said nothing about reflexes or tone or dominance, it's not to worry. At the end of my slideshow that I'm going to be sharing, I've actually got some common signs for you to look out for that let you know that it's time to see a pediatric trained chiropractor. And we actually look for all of these clues. We do the evaluation pieces that we talked about today, as well as additional components during our initial patient visits. So we'd love to show you how chiropractic care can help your kiddo thrive. If you are local and wanting to get your kiddo's nervous system checked, reach out to us. Obviously, you found us on Facebook. There's good. You can direct message us and we'll find the perfect time to help your kiddo get their nervous system checked. If anything today lit a spark, I'm honestly like super surprised, like, oh wow, it turns out I have a lot of fluff time when I've got fun slides to share with you. But if anything today lit a spark in your brain or in your heart, like, don't ignore it. What's your gut saying? Like, this matters. Maybe share this with a friend who needs to hear it. By all means, even if you're catching this on the replay, you're more than welcome to DM. You're more than welcome to reply in the comment section of this video. And just a reminder that your child is not broken. They're not too far in the dumpster. They might just be out of sync. And I'm not saying your kids are in the dumpster. I always get in trouble when I use that. It's a movie quote. That's not what I mean. But I just mean they're never too far gone, right? They might just be out of sync. Chiropractic helps bring them back online. In addition to Chiropractic, Healing Touch Chiropractic on Facebook, we also have an Instagram page. I invite you to join us on there. You can get more education, more inspiration, and we're funny as heck. Ooh, I also wanted to touch on upcoming things at Healing Touch because there are a lot of cool things. The next Impact Collective is set for June 24th. It's a Tuesday this time, 5 to 7. This event is open to all women committed to being the next best version of herself, regardless if you're a stay-at-home mom or an entrepreneur or you're working in a W-2, 9 to 5, you love your profession or you swallowed up in overwhelm and burnout. It doesn't matter. All of you gals, patients or not, you're all welcome. There is limited seating though, so sign up. Again, I'll have the link in the presentation that I post. And then we have a really hopping week that week, actually. 2 days later on Thursday, Dr. Tiff will be going into chemical stressors during her morning workshop. So like diet, meds, vaccines, alcohol. And then that night will be our first collaborative workshop of this capacity. We'll actually be partnering with our friend and master gardener, Leanna Hoffman. We are going to be planting microgreens, and I'm so stinking excited. So during class, we'll actually plant microgreens. You'll get to take them home. You can harvest them with your families. And that evening, we will also be seeding our HTC herbal planters. So these babies will stay here at Healing Touch, but there will be an open invitation to all to snip off some when you come for appointments. I'm so pumped for that. And that reminds me, I should create a Facebook event, which I will do. So register for that. As always, we are excited to continue to connect and learn with you all. Until then, here's to your healthy, happy home. See you soon.